Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Anna's workout day number 3. So today's going to be a little different than the last two videos that I done. Like I said, I'm in the process right now where I'm kind of restarting, refocusing, and just kind of starting all over again. So one of the things that I started doing yesterday afternoon is I found some of my old workout diaries, and I started going through them. As I said, I've been going through my YouTube channel and just kind of going back and looking at the stuff that I did. Um, I do want to talk about what kind of got me off the trail for a little bit. When I was at one point 325. You can see it in the Anna Chaos Fitness page. You can see a picture of me when I was like humongous. I went down on weight very unhealthily. I'll gain it back up because life circumstances. So the second largest time is pretty much where I'm at right now, and that was like in my late 20s, early 30s. And then when I was trying to join the reserves, I went down to 160, pretty much 160, 170 ish, which is the smallest I've ever been as an adult. I am a thick Latino woman. We got curves for days. Not much I could do about that. And even at my fitness, I still couldn't meet tape because half an inch around my waist, which still today, I literally told my friends when you bury me, just say I couldn't join the reserves because half an inch around you got too much butt to be a reservist. But that's okay though. That's okay. That's okay. At least I tried, and I even got all my paperwork and stuff from back then. So everybody says no, you didn't. It's like here's my paperwork, man. I still got it. Um, but other thing I want to look at is like, okay, so I wanted to look at my diet because now I'm no longer by myself. Back then I was by myself. I was single, so it was I cook, but it was just for me. So it didn't matter if the food tasted like the void. Now I have a fiance who has a career that he's physically active. He has a mesomorph body, so his body requires more caloric intake than me. So I'm trying to rebalance all these things. And that's one of the things a good friend of mine told me a long time ago that when you are on a fitness journey, but you have other people in your home, it's really hard to try to balance unless you severely discipline yourself and you have to set boundaries with other people around your home. I'm at the point where I'm not ready for the boundaries yet, but my fiance, I've had conversations with him about how much my weight bothers me, mostly because I don't want to be a health inconvenience to him if I get too big or I get too sick. And I told him, it's like, look, it's like, I don't want to cut out all the fun stuff that we do together because sitting down to eat and watch our fun little videos on Hulu or Amazon Prime, it's like one of the few times of the day that we can sit down after we both work. And I don't want to lose that. But I told him, it's like, my portions will be smaller. I don't mind giving you the extra food that, because normally we did everything 50-50. But again, he's in a job where he is completely burning a lot of calories and I am not. So a good compromise was that if we have a pizza, I only want the quarter or maybe a little bit more, like three fifths, and he can have the rest. All right. I don't want half a pizza. That's too much. My body just can't do that anymore. So I'm still enjoying the same fun foods and we're having a quality time. I'm just eating in a smaller portion, increasing my water intake so that way I feel fuller a lot longer. And I'm trying to get used to eating slower again. That's something that unfortunately from being in marching band in high school where we were like a AAA division band, marching band, and you had 300 kids to feed in 30 minutes. I just got used to eating fast. So that's one of the other problems that I'm in having, just kind of going back, reeling it back, and not sucking everything back in. So let me tell you about some of the stuff that I done today. Okay. First of all, I will apologize. I do need some energy. This is a energy drink. No, I'm not sponsored by them by any means. However, um, I'm looking right now around the house, stuff that I should not be eating. So I'm scaling back on them or I'm completely cycling them out of my home because that's one of the problems that happens. People get in a diet and then they cut it out cold turkey and then they're craving stuff all day. So what I'm doing right now is like I had a little box of Pop Tarts, okay? I ate the last one today. I will no longer be purchasing that moving forward today. So here's what I did for yesterday. So there is my MyFitnessPal, and this is what I did for yesterday right here. So I started looking through it, And the goal was to stick at 1927. I need to update this a little bit because I think this is still my old weight. But then the total, I ate around 2,100 calories. And I tracked everything as best as I could, okay? Especially when you do home cooked meals, it's a little harder. It takes a while to get that cadence and the calorie stuff. It is possible. I've done it in the past. It's just that right now I'm cooking very different things, so I have to kind of measure everything out. So that's going to take me a little bit to get it together. So I went ahead. See, there's that kickstart from yesterday. So this is something that I want to cycle out. So right now I'm struggling with two things. I want to cycle out. I love Coke Zero. I love Coke Zero. I will say it. I love it. Is I don't eat candy, but I don't know why the Coke Zero is like my one comfort food. So right now I'm trying to really scale back because I went from barely drinking it to like it's all I was drinking all day, and I know for a fact that it's not good for me. It's if you read anything about diet drinks, it causes aches, pains, inflammation, all kinds of stuff. But I've been going through such a stressful time. It's been like my one comfort food. So that's the one thing that I'm trying to scale back now on the amount of Coke Zero that I'm doing. Like I said, it's not gonna. I can do it cold turkey, but I'd rather do it gradually and then just cycle it out of my diet. So I know people like that's a cop out. It is true. Maybe it's a cop out, but that is what works for me. So do what works for you. So this is me trying to identify bad things in my diet. One of them was the Pop Tart. Like I said, that was a treat that I will randomly get. I bought it recently because I was at the store and I'm like, whatever. I don't really eat candy, but I wanted a Pop Tart. So I won't be buying that anymore. Okay, the Coke Zero is the big thing that I'm trying to cycle out right now. That's one of the biggies. And then I'm looking at my sugars. But anyway, so I'm going to right here. There's pretty much my intake for the whole day. The one thing I started with Lose It a very long time ago. And around when I really started doing bodybuilding, so Lose It was the first one that I used, and they're still around. So if you're a beginner, Losers are really good, really good app to start with. But then when I was doing hardcore bodybuilding and I was doing bodybuilding.com, which I still have my account, I need to go through and update all that. Like I said, one thing at a time. There's only so much I could do. Then I wanted something that was a little bit more. It had more instructions or it had more details. Now I will say it can get really overwhelming because these are for profit businesses. I still use the free version, but here's the part that I really wanted to look at. I wanted to look at my percentages of what I was eating. So carbs, fats, and protein. So right now, as you can see, yesterday, like I said, yesterday I ate normal. Like normal, me and my fiance. I wanted to just kind of just see, really, really assess what I'm eating, why am I even though I'm active, I am just so heavy. So I went yesterday and then as I'm recording through my day, I'm trying not to think about it. I knew it was gonna be bad. I just didn't think it was gonna be this bad. But then I really thought about it. It's like, yeah, it should make sense because I had homemade a homemade small sandwich in the morning. I had a Pop Tart. Then I had another sandwich on lunch. So keep in mind, I get up at between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. So sandwich at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I had another sandwich around 11. And then I abstained until we had dinner, which I made like pasta and I made, meaty sauce and stuff like that. And I'm trying to make a lot of stuff homemade if I can, if it's worth it. Pasta is one of those things that is no longer worth making at home because I used to be able to do that when in my 20s, and you just buy the darn pasta. Just buy it. It's so much cheaper. It's a long process to make pasta from home. But anyway, this is the one thing I really wanted to look at. It's like what percentage of my eating am I doing? This is way too high. Too many carbs. 63% is carbohydrates at 336 grams. That is way too high for my level of activity. My fats are okay. They're 50, 53. I want to bring that down to like around 40 grams. And my protein is way too low. It's only 83 grams. So at my weight, I want to kind of bring that back up to like, this is for me. Maybe at least started to get it into the 120 to 150 and then lower down the carbohydrates that I eat. So that's one of the things that I pretty much want to look at this week. Um, The other thing that I like about this is that, so those are the macros, and then here's the other part that I really like. So it shows you like how much sugar and fat and stuff you're eating. So my fiber, so my protein was 83, carbohydrate was 336. My fiber's too low, it's 28. And I used to do the, what is it, the fiber 30 diet back in the day. Let me tell you, that stuff works. You eat a lot of fiber and it works. So 28, not too bad. It could be better. My sugar's 81, way too high. So I got to bring that down. I know where that comes from, the darn Pop Tart and this. So again, this is why I'm kind of doing this, because I can really take a look at what I'm doing with my diet. My fats are okay. Saturated fats are not too bad. Let me go back. Oh, where'd you go? And then what is that? Oh, no, that's Wednesday. No, yesterday. Hey, bud, what you doing? Cholesterol 70. Sodium is not too bad because a lot of the stuff that I'm eating is stuff from home. When I first started getting into fitness, I used to eat a lot of fast food. And what I immediately realized is that when you eat out, the amount of sodium they put in the food was outrageous. I was eating almost 30,000 milligrams of sodium a week. So it's a little high. It's at 1900 milligrams, which is a little higher than what I want it to be, but it's not bad by comparison because I'm not eating a lot of salt and all that stuff. So this is one of the few things that I wanted to show you that I'm doing. Now, the next thing that I'm working on today. So this is my yesterday's. This is my fitness pal. Like I said, I've had these guys for like forever. Forever. Like it's been, this is like my third Fitbit. These things last between like 2 and like 3 years a pop. Let me see if I can, Mama, what you want? What you want? See, all time. Oh no, it lost. Okay, so they just updated the system, but that's not right. I've been part of my fitness pal. Oh, that's right, because they shifted me to Google, so they probably lost all my old data. Boo. Anyway, so, but this is pretty much from yesterday. At one point I didn't have my Fitbit on, so I said probably this is closer to 3,000 calories burned for the day, which is okay. There's my calories, there's my steps. My steps are a little too low. But again, I do have a couple injuries. I want to get back to the minimum of 10,000 a day. I do have a treadmill, but again, I have to listen to my body and I have a ton of stuff that I got to do throughout the day, even though right now I'm in transitioning. Right now there is exercise. Why is Wednesday not on there? It should be on there. So it's Tuesday, should be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know why I did not track my Wednesdays. I have to look at that. Active zone, this is great. I had 37 minutes of active zone. You guys saw that. Um, Hourly activity. I love this right here because it tells me how lazy I am. So if I look, it's like I used to pace a lot back when I was in the office. So I would like do 1 hour of solid work, get up, stretch my back, did like a lap in the office and set back down. I just needed to move. Distance walk 2.63. That's very low. I want to get back to my minimum of 5 miles, but again, it's a starting point. I've had a injury on both my feet where it was really hard for me to put weight on it, and I'm now recovering from that. And the fact that I gained weight does not help that problem. This is part of what I'm trying to deal with. Calories, like I said, even though it says 2,500, which is good, it's a little higher because I didn't have my Fitbit all day. I went around six flights and there's some other stuff in here, yada 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 yada. Um, the other good thing that I like about this is that it shows you for the week your average calorie burn. So this week it's okay, but let me see if I have the previous week. So my medium calorie burn is around 2,400. So that is not too bad. So I need to either decrease my food intake or I need to increase my activity in order to get my body to respond. Now, here's the other messed up part. Not really messed up, but here's the part that I have to keep in mind. I am now 43. So, per medical or per biology, my body's probably going through the premenopausal stage, which means there's hormonal changes going on. I have friends that work in the medical field that they're male and they're trainers and they go, Anna, you're not the only person I trained that's gone to this, where you suddenly, the stuff you were doing in your 30s when you lost all your weight no longer works. So you just have to kind of start over, readjust to what your body's currently doing, and going from that. So that's pretty much why I'm looking at all these data points for me to help me. Now, here's the last thing that I want to show you guys. And I know this seems, now you could do this on a digital calendar. You could do this on a paper calendar. I like to do paper calendars. I don't know why, at least to plan out. So I just went online. I printed a basic paper calendar. It's right there. I see start. Okay. Even though I've been doing it longer, but this is my personal hard start, which was on the 13th. And then from there, you saw my first video. I did arms. I walked in, I did arms. And then yesterday, I did core. So my goal, and I have it up here, is that, so back in the day, at my peak, I was doing 2 workouts a day. I would be doing a cardio for an hour in the morning and almost 30 to an hour of weightlifting in the afternoon, 5 to 6 days a week. I can't do that anymore. I'm not there yet. Okay. So my goal for right now is for every day, at least 6 days a week, I at least must walk. I at least must walk every day for 6 days. There is a rest day. I want to do weights, which is what you guys are seeing me 3 to 4 days a week. Okay, and this is why I have this out, because I want to plan my workouts for the next 2 weeks this afternoon or over the weekend. And then I do one day what I call it house. Not like the dance move, it's just house. um, so like today is the Friday before the weekend. I have some stuff that I gotta do, but I always make sure that I have a day where I'm active, but I'm not like lifting. I'm just maintaining my home. And believe it or not, you put on your Fitbit and you vacuum. So my home stuff is cutting the grass, not on the riding lawnmower, but with push mower or the regular mower. That's a workout. I don't have a big yard, but it's still a workout. It takes me about an hour and a half to do my yard with the regular mower outside in 100-degree weather. So that's part of my workout for today. The other part is vacuuming my house. Okay, I do have a Roomba, but once in a while I like to do it once a week to make sure I am picking up as much as possible. So that's part of my workout today. And the other one is cleaning the floors and deep cleaning. That will take me about 4 or 5 hours today. So it might not be as high impact, but it still keeps me moving, and I'm also maintaining my home as I'm doing it. So just because you're not at the gym, it doesn't mean that there's an excuse not to be active. Now, the other thing that I might do today, and I sometimes do a fun day where I go ahead, I have an old VR headset. Yes, I have a VR headset. And I play things like Beat Saber. What's the other one? Box BR. Probably if you've seen my Twitch, you've seen me playing those. I just picked up another one. It was like a boxing. So I like to change it up so that way it doesn't become monotonous. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm doing today. I know I've been kind of filming, like I said, I'm trying to get into a cadence on working out every day. Again, this is mostly for me, documenting my journey. I'm just sharing with you because again, I know when I was going through this process the first time, it felt kind of lonely because people are too quick to criticize you when you feel like you're worse. And I'm Hispanic. I grew up in a Latin home where my for whatever reason I was always the fat kid. So if you were the fat kid and you didn't eat, you would they will think that there's something wrong with the food and you offend people. So if you didn't eat 2 or 3 plates of food because you were the fat kid, there was something wrong. But then after you ate it, they shun you down for being the fat kid. So that's the kind of environment that I grew up in. I love my family, but unfortunately, that's a Latin thing. I thought it was just me, but after talking to a lot of my friends went through that were on the heavier side, where they're like, oh yeah, no, that's I don't know why, that's just a thing. Um, if you're skinny, they'll feed you. If they're fat, they'll really feed you. Uh, and if you turn it down, they're gonna think there's something wrong with you. So yeah, so right now I'm just kind of getting a lot of my stuff going. And like I said, I'm just mostly documenting this one to kind of like my gaming. The reason why I started the gaming channel is because I was working very long hours doing technical work and I was not giving my brain a break. So I started my gaming channel to 1 hour a day minimum, 1 hour minimum. I will stop what I'm doing, take a break, do something fun, and then go ahead and take a pause. And the good part is around that time I built some great connections with friends, so and stuff like that. So that's why I'm also doing this. So I'm trying to replicate that success with the gaming to give me downtime, but now I'm also want to apply that to my fitness. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. So again, I'm getting into a cadence, and I'll try to do this as long as I can. Again, life I've had life throw me some curveballs like crazy. So yes, so we will see. But anyway, so that's pretty much my plan. That's what I'm doing for today. It's just mostly going to be home stuff. I don't think you guys want to watch me vacuuming or cutting the grass. Weirdos. So if you want me to, let me know. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. That it's 2025, man. Nothing shocks me anymore. But I don't know, man. Let me enjoy my liquid caffeine crack. But anyway, guys, you guys have an awesome day. Like I said, today is Anna's house stuff day. And I'm just gonna do my low impact day, my low impact stuff today, and then hopefully next time I hop on, I'll be able to share with you guys the rest of my calendar. But anyway, y'all take care, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.